Hello and welcome you all in the YouTube channel of TMPS Group of Schools. It's Deepak Tiwari. So today we are going to discuss the new chapter in our geography, that is the weather and climate. In this chapter we will be going to discuss about the features of the weathers, the climates, some factors which influence both these conditions. So let me start this chapter, the weather and climate. As we know, the climate plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. The environmental condition also changes according to that two concepts, the weather and climate. So climate is one of the most basic, that is why the climate is considered as the most basic elements of the natural environment. The socio-economical activities also depends on these climatic conditions, especially in India, because we all know that India is an agricultural country. 52% of the peoples were engaged in India for this practice, and mainly it depends on the climatic conditions. First of all, if we look towards the weather is the day-to-day changing conditions of the atmosphere. What is it? It is the day-to-day changing atmospheric conditions in the nature, that is weather. It includes the temperature, the humidity, the sunshine, the cloudness. So basically these are the elements of weather. That is why it included it all. Also, thus we can say that the weather is the condition of temperature, it's the condition of atmosphere at a particular place over a short period of time. Weather is the day-to-day changing conditions in atmosphere over a short period of time in a particular area, that is the weather. And what are the elements of it? The humidity, the temperature, the atmospheric pressure, the cloudness, the sunshine, the amount of sunshine it is, the earth's surface it's taking from the sun. So these are the factors which involves in it. When we look towards the climate is generally defined as the average state of weather over a long period of time. Look, climate is the average weather conditions over a long period of time, and by assuming it, the period of time at least should be at least 35 years. Means for 35 years, a place constituted a type of weather conditions in all these 35 years, then that will be the climatic condition or the climate of that particular region. So we can say generally, and we can define the climate as the average weather conditions of a particular region for a long period of time, at least 35 years. And these having the same factors, that is the temperature, the atmospheric pressure, the wind, the humidity, the sunshine it is receiving. So these are the factors. So the difference between the weather and climate is same as per the time period. It is for the short period of time in a particular region, and it is constituted as the long period of time, long duration of time, the average weather conditions it gives, that is the climate. Despite these differences, there is the similarity that both these constituted with or influenced with the common factors, that we have the humidity of a place, the temperature, atmospheric pressure, so basically these are, and wind we can also add wind, a type of wind or the direction of wind which is prevailing from the particular area. So these are the factors which involves both the weather and climate, and this is the similarity between them. So let us recall about the elements of weather. And one thing is more, the study of weather conditions of a particular area is the meteorology. Meteorology is the study of weather conditions of a particular region, and the climate, the study of climatic condition or the study of climate, is the climatology. Our meteorological department will provide both these studies to study the weather, that is meteorology, and to study the climate, that is climatology. Now, what are the elements of weather? Elements of weather. The very first is the temperature. The very first element of a weather is the temperature. So the temperature is the term used to express the intensity or the degree of heat. What is it? It is the intensity or degree of heat. We all know that we will measure the temperature in degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. That is why it is the intensity, or we can say it is derived as the degree of the intensity of heat or the degree of heat. And we all know that sun is the ultimate source of energy, and sun is the only natural resource which provides the solar radiations to the earth's surface, due to which the earth's surface will receive the temperature and will expand the air which is just above on it. And the sun provides the radiations basically in the three forms. जो sun है, that is provide the energy or the rays in the three forms, and that is, the very first is visible light. Visible light it is providing to us. The second is the ultraviolet radiations, the UV rays or the radiations, that is UV. And the third one is infrared radiations. So sun will provide basically the three rays or the three type of sources to the earth's surface. And solar energy or the sun will provide the maximum amount of heat to a region which is near the equator, or because we know that the earth's surface is spheroid or the spherical in the shape, so the solar radiation which is approaching towards the surface of earth is mainly unevenly distributed because of its spherical in shape. Because the earth is in spherical in shape, that is, it will provide the two type of solar radiations when it is striking on it, that is the inclined, the very first is the inclined solar rays, and that is the oblique solar rays. And we can also say that the oblique insolation. Insolation is the amount of solar energy receiving or achieved by the sun to the surface of earth. So look at this particular region on which the solar radiations are inclined at 90 degree. So that will receive the maximum amount of rainfall. It means the temperature of this region will be more as compared to these two regions A and B, because the solar radiations on these places A and B is received as the oblique rays by the sun. And we all know the laboratory thermometer, the clinical thermometer are there to measure the degree of or the intensity of heat. And one thermometer is the 6S thermometer. The 6S thermometer is named as the geologist, and the geologist was having the name 6. The name was James 6. James 6, on his glory, on his name, the thermometer, namely the 6S thermometer. So the temperature of heat depends on the two factors. The temperature is depend on the two factors, that is, the very first is the intensity of heat which is inclined on the surface of earth, that is the very first, and the second is the inclined axis, and the first is the inclined axis and the second one is the spherical in shape. These are the two factors on which the temperature depends when the solar radiation is coming towards the surface of earth. And also the temperature includes or depends in weather, or we can say it will be determined by the latitude, the altitude, the distance from the sea, the wind, the direction of winds, the ocean currents. We have the two ocean currents, the warm ocean current and the cold ocean current. The land, the soil, the vegetation cover. So actually these are some factors, these are determining factors which provide the information about the temperature or the amount of temperature would be enclosed on the surface of earth. The second one is the atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. We all know that the air exerts pressure on the surface of earth. Look, it is the surface of earth and this is the sun. It is the surface of earth, this is the sun, and we all know that the solar radiations will be approaching towards the surface of earth. Look, okay, these radiations are coming from the sun towards the surface of earth, and these are the air, that is the air, okay, that is the air just above the surface of earth, and air exerts pressure on the surface of earth. Air is exerting the pressure now on the surface of earth. But what will happen if this air receives the maximum insolation, means the maximum solar radiations from the surface of earth? The temperature of the earth's surface. Look, when the earth's surface receives the insolation or the solar radiations, so it will become warm because of the temperature increases. The temperature increases, and as soon the temperature increases, the air just above the surface of earth will become warm and it will going to expand. It will become warm, garam ho jayegi, and then it is going to expand because of it having the less density. It is going to be expanded in form, and whenever it is expanding, it will become warm. It starts rising up. The air starts rising up above the surface of air. Then what will happen at this region? Because the air that was present initially near the surface of earth will starts rising. So what will happen? The temperature is greater than the atmospheric pressure of this region will be decreasing. So means we say that the temperature is inversely proportional to the atmospheric pressure. It means inversely proportional. This is the sign of the proportion. Inverse, that is 1 upon, reciprocal in form. So temperature is inversely proportional to atmospheric pressure. So due to which when we increases the temperature, the atmosphere pressure will decrease. Or vice versa, if the atmospheric pressure is increases, the temperature will decreases. So what we have recall it? When the temperature of the air increases, it starts rising up. That is why below this region or near the surface of earth, the atmospheric pressure is decreases. So atmospheric pressure will decreases here. So the wind which is away from this region, suppose it is the high pressure zone, the high atmospheric pressure is present in this region A, and the region B having the low pressure zone. And we all know that the movement of air or the moving air is known as the wind. So the wind always blows from the region of high atmospheric pressure to the region of low atmospheric pressure, because this cold wind, look, this cold wind will take the or which fill up the space where the atmospheric pressure will be less. This is the concept of atmospheric pressure. So this atmospheric pressure will also take place in the weather conditions or to change the day-to-day weather conditions. And the third factor is wind, and wind always move or blows from the high pressure zone to the low pressure zone as far we have discussed in atmospheric pressure. So what are the required conditions? That the movement of air, that is the wind, involves from the high pressure zone to the low pressure zone because of the differential amount of atmospheric pressure. Look, suppose a place having the second place is B. The place A have a 1000 millibar of atmospheric pressure. Look, the unit to measure the atmospheric pressure is millibar, and we can denote it as MB. Suppose A having a place where that 1000 millibar of atmospheric pressure is there, and the position of B where it is, the place B constituted 990 millibar of atmospheric pressure. So it is 1000 and it is 990. So what will happen? It is the high pressure zone, it is the low pressure zone because it is greater. This atmospheric pressure is greater than 990 MB, which is in place B. So the movement of wind will be of which direction? From A to B because of high pressure area to low pressure area. So look, what is the differential atmospheric pressure in it? That is 1000 minus 990 MB, we will get 10. So only the difference between these two atmospheric pressure zone will be only the 10 MB, 10 millibar. So the movement of the wind, the movement of the air would be in less speed. Okay, would be in less speed. But the second condition, if we take, suppose the place is A having 1000 MB, 1000 millibar of the atmospheric pressure, and B having 800 millibar. So look, what is the difference? It is the high pressure zone, low pressure zone, but the difference between them would be 200 MB. So what will happen? It is the much difference between the atmospheric pressure of these two regions. So the intensity of wind, the speed of wind will be more, so that is will be form the cyclonic wind. That is the cyclonic wind. So that is the basic difference that we recall that in the very first condition before it, that is the breeze, because the wind is moving swiftly, normal in speed. But in the second condition, because of the high intensity, high speed of the wind flowing or blowing towards from the region A to B, high pressure to low pressure, it will be a cyclonic wind. And a device which is used to measure the speed of a wind, that is anemometer. What is anemometer? Is a device which is used to measure the speed of a wind. And the wind vane, the second instrument is the wind vane. Anemometer, speed of the wind, and wind vane, which is used to measure, which is used to determine the direction of the wind from which it is flowing. So what we have discussed today, the temperature, the atmospheric pressure, and the wind, these are the factors which influence the weather condition of a particular region. So this will be your first part of this section, and we will be coming back with the second part, including some more factors of climate and weather. Till then, take care and bye bye.